All right, hey, how's it going, guys? This is actually one of our private webinars. So we have a webinar every single Sunday with our team, and I'm just going to make it available completely free. Just, this whole video will be the actual webinar, just because I think there are some really helpful emotional tips. I think there's some very helpful trading tips, and I think it very well kind of as an extension of what you saw recently on this channel. So literally, like, the video right before this one dealt with some of the markets I'm watching and why I'm watching them. And similarly, in this video, you're going to see kind of a progression or an extension of exactly that video, where my beliefs about a certain market have shaped the way that I've looked at overall markets, where I've then used tools to find those markets, to follow those markets, and then, of course, even as you can see in this video right now, to make profit on a market. And you'll see kind of the posts that happened beforehand, not in hindsight, none of this kind of bullshit, because, well, I mean, I've forever taught in a very specific way, and those that have also learned with me or through me have come out with an understanding they can use for themselves. So this is 2 hours, make out some time for it, watch a little bit of it, come back to it. There are things spread out throughout the video that can be helpful to you, might not be helpful to you in some scenarios, but if only one thing stands out to you and you take something from it, then I will have assumed that making this video public was a good thing, and hopefully that a lot of you learned something. And if you did learn something, you can let me know down below. And you'll see us talk a little bit about, like, Warren Buffett, a little bit about investing, a little bit of trading, a little bit about rules of trading, just breaking down some of my own personal rules. A lot of these webinars are led by our own members because they're the ones that get to ask things, and their questions are the ones that create the foundation for all the amazing conversations we have. So if you want to talk to me directly, if you want to talk to me intra-week or throughout the week, or want to show up to a webinar and ask absolutely anything, then consider joining up and move your way through the course and the material, and you will be very pleasantly surprised by how much information you will have gained, as well as the fact that you're able to reference myself or anybody else when you're part of the team. Okay, guys, enough of my time there, and I don't want to take any more of yours. Enjoy the video. Thank you all. Bye. Hello. Let's get the camera on. There we are. What's going on, everyone? Good morning. Popping out the chat and stuff, just getting my Discord here set up so I can see everything and talk to you guys. Here we are. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to webinar 214. An echo, you say? That is because my screen share has sound. Hold on. There you are. There shouldn't be any echo now. Let me restart it just to make sure. Here we are. All right, first of all, can everybody hear me? It seems like that's the case, but I just want to make sure with a yes or at least one verbal confirmation. Okay, we're good. And that you can see the screen. Do we have a yes there as well? Beautiful. That is the minimum. All right, anyone whose sound or video doesn't work, it works for everyone else. There we are. That's taken care of. Good morning, everyone. Very good to see everybody here today. Good to see a bunch of familiar faces. I hope you're all very well. Good to see a lot of familiar names and faces. It's awesome to have you guys in the Discord itself because I get to, well, I actually see you guys talk every single week and stuff. So it's really nice seeing a bunch of returning members. It's good, says Fortuner. What's up, 6T4-bit gaming? See, you might be new, so what's up, man? Welcome aboard if you are brand new. Okay, so let me move all this over so we can see everything and you guys can see everything. Move this a little bit, go to a single. Here we are. Let me just set all this up. It's very easy to see everything. Beautiful. Move this over as well. What a clean entry, says Stefan. Thank you very much. We'll talk a little bit about it today. I have a lot of very quote-unquote clean entries, and yet many of the things I'm actually entering don't end up doing anything. So that might be something to talk about today. But the small spot that I wanted to start with today is actually talking about literally what just happened in the off topic. So of course, as always, you guys are free to ask anything in the chat. More than happy to talk about or go over anything. But I want to start a little bit about talking specifically to the trading space. So we usually start some of these webinars with a little bit of psychology talk or a little bit of just anticipation of what trading is going to look like talk. So I had a kind of random question here. This was in the off topic, so of course it's understandable. But my man Catalin is here, asked about, if someone has started a dropshipping business. So what I wanted to start with today by talking about is, let's call it the unforeseen, or the stuff that you don't initially expect when you walk into any given space, right? So the first thing that I really wanted to start with, Shallings was here, nice. So the main thing that I first wanted to start with is that, as a lot of you know, any skill set that we approach and want to make money with, let's say, right, is going to have a learning curve. Right, and what's going to happen is, if you guys remember, there's like this, there's like a diagram, right, where you start out, you have this insane confidence, and you're like, holy shit, this is the truth, right? Then you start realizing what actually doing something of this nature constitutes, what that skill set actually looks like, how much you actually have to learn. You start learning slowly, maybe you even go through a deeper period of unlearning because you realize, like, holy shit, there's even more than I thought, and then that learning inevitably leads to small steps big enough to the place where you never have as much confidence as you had when you thought you had it all down, but you have enough confidence now in terms of what you're doing to permanently execute at this level and actually make money doing something, right? So this is kind of the progression level of any skill set or curve, right? And we've experienced this on every single level before, right? So I experienced this most importantly as a trader. I experienced this as someone that was learning to be in the financial space, right? I experienced this when I first started being a bartender, etc., right? So you're going to experience this no matter what. And Chris posted a little photo here, but this is a very good example of it, where when you start or hear about something or watch a video on something, and it's kind of the first time you're being privy to it, right? So this happens to a lot of people that jump systems and mentors very early on, even in the trading space, where they see something new, they see something fun, they see something that could make more sense than what they were doing, and all of a sudden they're in what we call Mount Stupid, right? Where you kind of believe that you understand it all and can put it to work. So this is the image I was kind of going for, where it's like, you start out thinking you understand everything or understand what it's going to take to do it, and just like, holy shit, this is the answer to my problems, all the way back to basically 0% or even under, right? So I think a better curve, I'm just going to ignore this curve for a second here, is basically what you see here, which is that no matter what you do in life, and this is true across every single industry that I've personally ever been in, it looks a little bit something like this, right? So to give you the easiest example, when I first started being a bartender or whatever, or let's say a bar back, whatever you want to call it, right? Busser, bartender, bar back. I wasn't necessarily a bartender, but very close, right? I started out with the idea that, like, okay, I can do this for a little bit of time. I can literally start, right now, work like pretty long shifts and make a ton of money early on because it's going to be relatively easy. My confidence was here in terms of like doing this at a level where I would just kind of be able to build a little pile of money, right, that I can now sit on and I'd be happy with, right? And then all of a sudden, the very first day that I'm working, I get kind of ran through every single thing that I'm going to be doing, right? It's like, all right, you're going to be doing this and this during the day. If none of those are able to be done, then you're going to do this, and this, right? So about an hour to 2 hours into like my shift or into my working day, I would literally be like sweating and almost dead. I had no energy, right? So it was very quickly a wake-up call that said, oh my God, I'm only going to be able to maybe do this like maybe 2 times a week, 3 times a week, because this is insane, right? And then over time, I got more into a process of doing it to the point where I could do it consistently enough and well enough, because I had more efficient processes to what I was doing, to make a consistent amount of money doing that. Right now, similarly, as a trader, this happens to all of us. We learn something new. We learn about a system. We learn about a a way to think. We learned about a way to approach the market. Even, and I'm going to tell you all right now, even many of the traders that have gone through the mentfx portal, so those of you that have gone through the portal, going through the portal for the first time is one of the biggest, I would probably say one of the biggest feelings of this right here. Okay, because as you go through the portal for the first time, it is going to open your eyes to an understanding that you literally never had, right? If you were in the trading space for years before this, or for no time before this and are coming in completely brand new, you go through this material going, holy shit, right? This makes sense. This makes sense. It makes sense as to why it makes sense. I understand how I can make money from this. This is kind of a genius way to trade. I have the tools available to me to find these things. My mentor is literally trading the things he's teaching every single day, every single week. Even if you've been recently going through it, you are aware that as you're looking at this, Anton or your mentor is literally taking trades every single day. Like, I don't think I've missed a single day of trading recently, right? If we literally look at the data of my own, if we look at my own data of just the recent week, so today is 7/20, which is March, April, May, June, July 20th, right? If you really look at this, I traded July 19th, July 17th, 17th, 16th, 15th, 15th, 14th, 13th, 13th, 13, right? So, and then 29. But then 6, 9, 10, 11. So basically, I've been trading quite a bit recently, right? So you get put into this insane confidence boost, no matter who you are or where you start when you go through the material here, because you're like, oh wow, this is the truth, right? This is what's going to make it all for me. And as you start doing it yourself, as you start kind of experiencing it live, as you start doing it live, I actually wanted to call back to a beautiful message from a member. I think it was this one right here. Yes, I'm so happy I found this. So Bumblebee, I don't know if you're here, but literally yesterday he said, I've been doing a couple of live trades. I took a couple of losses and some break evens. And after I looked over my trades, I realized some were way out of my system. And I wondered what the fuck I'm doing wrong. And now after I realized what I did wrong, I'm shocked at I'm shocked how long I actually need to wait for a trade setup. Now I fully understand that trading is a damn waiting game. Glad I realized that so soon. Holy shit. Right? So this is kind of that first, and many forms of this kind of wake-up call can occur, but this is one of those wake-up calls that happen to a lot of people in trading, where it's like, oh, these are the troughs of trading, where you might realize the time associated with actually taking trades, right? Where you might recognize that given that you're on a lower time frame, you have to kind of be only there for that session at all times to get your trades. Where you might realize, oh, I actually need to scale my account to a much larger size to put myself at the similar monetary level to what I was used to earning before doing anything else. Oh, this is going to take me this amount of time to actually scale. Oh, so you start having these major realizations. Oh, every trade that I take is not a winner that puts me at all-time highs. Oh, most trades that I take are literally for the purpose of going break even and taking losses. Oh, even though Anton's curve or my mentor's curve or even my curve goes up over the course of a few months, the actual intraday or intra-independent trades that happen back-to-back, day-to-day are almost all progressing time and not progressing equity. Right? So this is very important because a lot of people think that I've learned trading, I've learned some form of trading, and the time I'm putting in now is going to progress equity in a linear way or even exponential way, where everything I do is going to be met with general increases in equity curve. When the reality is almost every moment of every day, 90% of your time, the work that you're going to be doing is going to be progressing your equity curve to a rage-bound level, where every single independent trade is actually for the purpose of literally saving capital and nothing happening until you're in one of those assets or inside of one of those times where you truly get rewarded for following your rules. And all of a sudden, after 50 to 60 trades, you might find yourself up 13R, 20R, 50R. But the act of getting there required a lot of individual trades that did nothing with a few trades that truly transformed the curve, right? So these are some of the troughs or the lower portions of trading where you realize these things. And similarly, this is why I'm talking specifically about this thing right here. No matter what you do, there are unaccounted for things that you are completely unaware of. So specifically to this right here, and to anyone that's similar, that also similarly thinks like, oh, maybe I can do some drop shipping now and do some of this later and some of that, right? The reality is, when someone asks something along these lines, like, who is trying to dropshipping business? I know where this is going, right? It's like, okay, how have you found your dropshipping business? Is that making you money? What have you generally found for making money doing dropshipping? Can I do this, right? I know where that's headed. And the problem with this is that you can replace this name here, this dropshipping, with anything. And the answer to your question is yes. Of course you can make a lot of money doing it. And I've even done dropshipping myself, and I've made some money doing it. But very quickly, when you start doing any skill set, you learn very quickly the unaccounted for factors. So in trading, the unaccounted for factors are, in most cases, time. You truly unaccount for what time is going to look like in trading, and that can be in terms of taking trades, in terms of scaling. Another unaccounted for thing in trading that's very big. There's time, and there's one other thing. Oh yeah, is monetary. So what a lot of people don't understand about trading, and I'm going to try to make this really clear, is that no matter who you are, whether you have $1,000 to your name or $100 million to your name, if you're first time learning trading, what is always going to happen? Are you ever putting your entire savings account? Let me just ask you guys this as a normal question. Are you ever putting your entire savings account into a personal brokerage and starting trading there? Like, that's the first question. How many of you have truly, with like a decent net worth, not like I have $100 to my name, I'm going all in. How many of you have truly taken the savings that you've made, maybe over the last 2, 3, 4 years, and said, boom, my brokerage, I will now trade this money with good rules. So Philip might be the only exception, right? But I'm assuming 90% plus do not do this, right? And anyone that has done this have very likely lost a lot of their savings because, well, they probably didn't even have a system to start with, right? So Devil says in high school, so again, doesn't count. I know that in high school, you're not saving up enough money where it's going to matter at a level where you're like, oh shit, I don't want to do this, right? Philip bought XRP at 50 cents. Good for you, man. That's actually awesome. But the general answer that you normally see is no, right? Almost no one. Yeah, so like even Bounty. I don't even have life savings, but probably half my salary, right? So that's not even that bad, right? If you notice what you're doing, even Bounty, let's take Bounty as an example here. Right, didn't have life savings, whatever. Let's ignore that. Half my salary, right? So the question here is, why not 100% of your salary, right? Because literally, like you wouldn't probably trust yourself to do that at the time, right? Or at the time of in reference to the confidence that you had during that time. I'm assuming you just didn't want to just all in it and hope and see where it takes you, right? But the natural thing that I've seen is that almost no one has taken everything they've ever earned or have saved and put it into a personal unless they've done a ton of work prior, right? So that's very normal. Now, what does that directly mean? What does it mean if you're only taking a piece of your savings and putting it into account? What does this naturally mean when you're risking 1R per trade? What does it naturally mean in terms of reward without any scaling that you've done so far, without any compounding? What does it mean monetarily? Yes. You will always, remember this, guys, whether you have $10,000 to your name, okay, or if you have $100 million to your name, because you're putting in a portion and then you're risking 1R, you are always monetarily making less money than in your mind subconsciously you would want to make, right? Does everyone kind of understand that? Where if you have $100,000 to your name, right, you're not putting 100K into an account unless you've done a ton of prior work. You're probably maybe putting in 30 to 50K. Now your risk per R, especially if you're starting out, is not even going to be 1%. It's probably going to be like 0.5%, which puts you at how much? At 30K, that puts you at about $150 risk per trade. So even if you have an insane 1 to fucking 15 RR reward on an insane trade that you caught, right? What is that equivalent to? Well, it's about $2,200, right? So in the most insane of all insane things that you could have experienced as a win, not even talking about losses and break-evens or small wins, you are only making a fraction of what your underlying net worth is, which makes trading seem like what? Like something that is unscalable, as something that is not going to make you as much money. And this is quite literally one of the unaccounted for factors, right? So no matter what you do, whether it be drop shipping or some other random ass shit, right? There are unaccounted for factors. One of these unaccounted for factors is the monetary, because the monetary gain is always going to be less than what you actually thought you'd be making, right? Does everyone kind of understand that? And this even happened to me early on. I'm like, I literally make more money right now as a barback, right? I make more money right now working my office job in the finance space, right? I make a ton more. So at the time it was like, does it make sense, right? But over time, you start realizing that of course it makes sense, and of course you can scale, and you can scale to a point where you can actually use the net worth you have to actually grow your money, because you start understanding how you can put money to work, right? So in reference to this specific guy right here, now again, I want to preface this by saying this applies to any skill set, but in reference to this right here, has anyone started a dropshipping business? I know where this is going, right? Especially Kata, if you're here, right, this is going to the following questions. If you have started it, what did you experience? If you have experienced it, did you make money? If you did make money, would you say it was hard or easy? If you did make money and it seemed kind of easy, what was your process? Oh, should I be doing this too? The reality is there are many unaccounted for factors no matter what you do, including dropshipping. And I even wrote it here. I've done pieces of dropshipping, right? I've made money doing it. It requires a ton of time, but it's less upfront capital, right? And most importantly, just because you saw a video online that puts your confidence level up here, let me do this in red. Just because you saw a video online that put your confidence level here and started making you really question, potentially dropshipping is something that could make me good money. I should consider this. Remember, you are here. There are unaccounted for things you do not know, like the fact that even if you have a successful dropshipping business, the thing that you're dropshipping is probably going to be successful for 1 month or less. The ads that you're going to be running are going to start costing you more than you're probably going to be making. You're going to be at break even most of the time. Your ad accounts are going to get banned. Your ad accounts are going to keep getting banned. You're not going to be able to do this properly. You're going to get a customer complaint. The customer complaints are going to lead to terrible reviews and reputational damage. That leads to inability to run the store at the level that you want. There's going to be shipping and other issues in between. There's going to be quality issues that you don't know how to necessarily deal with. And all of a sudden, you're running a full-on business going, holy fucking shit. There are so many unaccounted things that I didn't even think of that I'm now down money doing. Insert whatever skill set you want, right? So to in the easiest way possible to kind of answer this, it's you're not going to be saved or find a way to make side income just like that, just easily, because you found another skill set, right? The reality is any skill set you pursue to make good enough money that isn't completely luck-based and out of the world, just randomness, there is going to be a ton of work that you're going to have to do. So now the question becomes, do you want to do a ton of work on drop shipping, a ton of work on trading, a ton of work on what's actually going on in your personal life, and hope that putting all this extensive mental and physical labor into doing these things is going to hopefully pay off? Or would you rather focus on one thing and another thing, right? So this is where it becomes very important, because I have worked with people that have been like, I'm doing this full time, I manage a family, I'm trying to trade, and I want to try drop shipping, and fuck it, I'll try some copywriting on the side, and fuck it, I'll try some running ads on the side. It's like, do you understand what you just did to your life, right? You have spread yourself so thin that you will never get into even the top 30% of any of these. It's going to be impossible. Now imagine you're focusing on trading, the thing you have in your personal life, and a family. Great. You are going to be able to get into the top 5 to 10% of any one of these disciplines, right? Now, of course, with time, if you get to a point where you can do one thing, that's even better, right? Because, hey, guess what? Now I can all in on trading and do trading most of the time and scale my trading in a way that's really good. Dre says, I feel attacked. Oh, my bad. Broker says, I feel attacked. Or he said, is Ment talking about me? Shelling says, what about trading and music? I mean, listen, it all goes in the same basket, right? Like, there's, by all means, like, you're gonna have time as well around trading, right? There's gonna be a ton of time, at which point you can focus on other things too. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Note, like, you can look at me as an example. I'm doing, like, what, 4 things right now at once, or 5. 4 or 5 things at once right now. But the reason it works for me is because I focused a lot of my energy early on 1 or 2 things. I'm gonna tell you all right now, I wasn't doing trading, learning to trade, while also learning to dropship, while also learning how to write proper copy, while also learning how to run ads in a good enough way, while also managing a side job, while also doing another job. I'd get fucking nowhere. I would get absolutely nowhere, right? So I'm not here to say, get in on all one thing and just all in it, because that is actually, so this is like, there's a line, right? Some people will say that going all in on one thing is good. And to those people, you know, by all means, but you're in the 1%. If you can go all in on this one thing and do really, really well, right? The reality for most people is if they go all in on one thing, because they're so all in and everything else in their life starts to truly fall apart, they actually lose the amount of work and effort they would be able to put into this one thing, and it becomes a half effort, right? Versus if you, this is why in trading what you see a lot of the time is the people that make the most money and find themselves profitable in trading, and I've seen this over and over and over again, is someone that had something going on that does it relatively well, maybe at a top 20% level, maybe even at a top 10% level, does that really well and does well for themselves, and then can just focus on trading as well, right? And all of a sudden it becomes very easy to put 100% of your effort into this thing, right? Even though it's another thing, and all of a sudden you find yourself being profitable. You find yourself getting to those points because you're no longer sitting there focused on necessarily the money that you need from it. You're not sitting there focused on the fact that if this doesn't work out, your life falls apart, etc. Right? Instead, you're like, okay, I have things that I'm doing, and that's perfectly fine. I'm gonna put my time into this, but it's not a necessity in terms of making it, right? Because a lot of people just try to put trading as the number, like all eggs in one basket. If this doesn't work out, I'm literally homeless, right? Like, and that's crazy. Seer has, what about me that has nothing to do? How do we proceed? Well, if you have nothing to do, then sure, focus your time on this right here, right? There's nothing wrong with that. If you're literally doing nothing at all right now, it's better to do something than nothing. Like, no shit. That's as easy as it gets, right? Like, that's literally as easy as it gets. But the point is that I really wanted to start with was the fact that this idea that you probably think, like, when you wrote this, your mind probably goes to the fact that I can do some drop shipping on the side and make some money to ease the pain of trading taking some time. But the reality is, and to put it simply, for you to get this to a level that's successful enough, drop shipping wise, whatever you want to call it, you're gonna put more time than anything else you put time into, right? Like, I've done this, I've made money doing it, and you start realizing that there's infinite things that you have to do to get good at it, right? Riven even said it, done it as well, same insights. A lot of it was up to luck and randomness. Yes and no, right? Like, if you run like whatever, 4 different products, and you do tiny like split testing across 4 different products, and you run ads and you see which ones do well, and you kind of scale them, and you focus all in on one that does well, you can make money from it for like 1 to 3 months, and then potentially onwards if you continue branding and making an actual company, right? Otherwise, you're right, after this you have to restart this program over and over and over again, and that's not even talking about the losses that you will take on the revenue losses, on the ad losses, because, well, some things are still not going to work out even after proving that they work out. But the point being, right, these are all things that are unaccounted for. There are infinite things that you're unaccounted for in any skill set you see, right? And I've seen this happen over and over and over again. Like, people will look to someone and be like, wow, this guy's making $200K a year doing this thing. It seems kind of stupid and easy. But then if they ever did a similar thing, they go, oh my fucking God, what have I walked into, right? I want to go back to doing whatever I was doing before because this fucking sucks, right? So that's just a starting place. And that is to highlight the fact for a lot of you that don't spread yourself infinitely thin. And you don't have to necessarily all in. You need to find a middle ground that works for you in the best possible way, right? And that middle ground is going to be different from person to person. Some people will be the all in and it actually works for me. And some people will be the I can balance things in my life and do well doing it, right? But if you're the kind of person that is almost like, because I'm ADHD, I think, right? But if you're the kind of person that's ADHD about their focus in terms of the things they're doing in their life, and your ADHD leads you to something like, should I go drop shipping? Should I go copywriting? Should I start writing emails to people and calling them and getting on cold calls, right? If you start going down this kind of like fucking ADHD neural pathway of a million different tree branches, then it's going to be very hard for you to find any form of consistency, right? Yeah, it's a shining object syndrome, right? There's always going to be something shiny. Okay, so let's get into the main stuff for today. Now, funny enough, if you look across the right-hand side of my screen, right here, there's pretty much one thing that you're going to see a lot of my focus has fallen to, at least for my given timeframes of interest, timeframes of entry. I'll open up the other stuff that is somewhat important, like here, I'll move it up here, so it's clear that I'm not like sitting here just like, there's only one thing to do, because I even spoke about this throughout the week, right? And even last week, when we spoke in the last webinar, right, it was just a game of, hey guys, indices, indexes, US market, whatever you want to call it, NQ, QQQ, US 100, all very bullish, right? All continuing bullish. And if I'm trading this, then the focus is definitely going to be on the stage twos. It's muted now. That's annoying. Oh, I see what happened. Hold on. I got it. I know what happened. Don't worry. All right, whatever. Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. So we will do a little bit of a better like watch list kind of rundown and talk a little bit more, but we spoke for weeks now, especially last week, on the fact that what I would be doing if I'm a lower time frame trader is focusing on stage 2 starting and playing the lowers, right? So like this week I can kind of point even to it. Like if I go to Monday of this week, boom, here's Monday, right? I can point to you all. If any of you made money on NQ or QQQ, NASDAQ, US 100, I'm going to tell you right now, your money that you're making, okay, good. The money that you're making is going to be here, maybe in here, and maybe you made a break even or a loss in here, right? And I can tell you now, going into the future weeks, if you're going to make money on lower time frame QQQ and NQ and stuff like that, it's likely not going to be on something like this where it's like downside, but you might be able to do it because of who you are and the way that you trade. But the money that's going to be made, it's like easy money, free money, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be here, right? It's potentially here, or it comes back down and then it's here, right? So I can almost point to a lot of you that have done well in the recent few weeks on NASDAQ or whatever. This is where you've likely made money. Now, of course, those of you that have traded NASDAQ or whatever, or NQ or trading this stuff, like you can maybe go to your own kind of trades and even confirm or deny this, right? Like I know if I'm trading a lower time frame, this is where I'm making my money, right? I can go inside of these areas if I really want, and I can literally show and find the areas that I'd make money. There's potential to make money here. There's potential to make money here. There's potential to make money here. There's potential to make money here that becomes probably break even or a loss. Then again, there's potential to make money here. That's a break even, a small win, or a loss. Then there's potential to make money in here. And then there's definitely potential to make money in here, 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 and here. And then maybe you look at this area here before it gets choppy, right? So like I can literally point to this week and quite literally tell you where I would make money, given that I'm trading like a lower time frame and trading NQ or whatever, right? And this directly moves hand in hand. This moves hand in hand with exactly what we've been speaking about on this thing forever, right? I just be following the stage 2s as they happen over and over and over again. And that's exactly what I tried to make money on, what I've made money on, and what lower time frames are making their money on. Very, very likely. Olay says, I mean, who knows if it will randomly dump next week? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't play the randomness of like trying to guess when the next high is in. I don't really care for that, right? I'm sure you know that. My game is always, if it continues, I'm there. If it doesn't, I'm not there. And that leads us to exactly how I've been approaching crypto recently, right? As a lot of you know, let's go to the Bitcoin USD. As a lot of you know, the approach on this thing has been the exact same. The approach on this thing has been, we've moved into accumulation, and I'll actually show you guys, since this point here, let me even show you. Can anyone within the mentorship, and that's a lot of you guys, I mean, we all know this, we've spoken so many times, can any of you walk me through exactly what my bias and approach to crypto and relative crypto pairs has been since this day right here? Basically since this Wednesday, since the webinar that we would have then had on the subsequent, on this day, on the webinar that we had on the 29th of June. So basically from this move here, which I have labeled as the accumulation MB, up to the actual Sunday that we had here, what has the analysis been? Where has it laid itself? What have we been looking for, right? And thank you very much, everyone that's been here for a long time. But yes, bullish, up, shellings, MMB1 look for long, buy me if you want to make money, MMB1, long, longs. And that is true and remain true across all crypto, especially as we move into an environment that has been one-sided across the board. So from these points right here, all you had me say was what? What is the expectation? If price goes down, what do I do? That's step one. If price goes down and starts losing MAs or losing lows, what do I do? That's step one. Nothing and stay away. So think back to what I just showed you on NASDAQ on like the hourly. This is how you apply EVC across any time frame. Okay. And what is the other option? If it doesn't go down, what is the literal only other option? It sets up stage 2s, right? And if a stage 2 sets up, what do? I go and trade the fucking pair. Or I go and trade other pairs that show similar strength, or show similar cycles, or show strength in themselves, or start moving higher. And this is where a lot of you have already started to make money. Now, if I come into this week, does anyone know what my expectation is? Oh God. Oh, what could Anton be expecting on Bitcoin USD? There's nowhere to the left to find a zone. Where are the zones? What am I expecting? What am I doing every single week? Well, there's only one thing to look for and one thing to follow. There's only one thing that's delivering. So my main goal during this whole time has been what? Go to the screener, log into the screener. For the most part, ignore some of the stuff that might be on the stock side because I'm really interested in what's going on right now with crypto. Edit my symbols. Crypto, literally, I just want to see what's going on with crypto because generally I want to see crypto related stuff and I can also look for stocks that are crypto related, but I don't need to do that right now. Set up my dollar volume to something that makes sense. You can see here I put it to 50 mil or higher, so very liquid cryptos, right? Then you can literally filter for an ADR, or you can filter by high to low across any of these. And what did I do? I exported this list, and I have a general list that I've put together from doing this every single day. And I have things to watch. And now, as Bitcoin continues to move and continues to put in stage 2s, and look at this action right here. This actually had a mini setup here. It's a little bit harder to trade because this move here is very choppy. But right now, the expectancy on this, guys, it's as clear as day, right? Like, you guys should be able to see it. Like, this is all I would be expecting on this thing if I was to trade it. If you're a lower time from crypto trader, guys, this is your accumulation MB, okay? If the MMB happens, play this. Why wouldn't you want to be playing this? This is going to create opportunities. Wait, Ment, did you say you exported the list of trading view? Yeah, you click export, symbol list, just click that, it downloads it, then you press here, import, boom. Here's the whole list. Then I went through step by step and just deleted the shit that I didn't care about, took the rest that I do care about, and added it to mentfx, or to my overall watch list. Boom, there it is. And now I can filter and look around in my watch list for the stuff that I actually want to play and that I actually want to trade, right? And you can look, a lot of these are doing what? Look at them. They're all setting up. This was a beautiful setup and is delivering. Bonk, this thing was insane and delivering. H-bar, this thing's set up, kind of delivering. XRP, this thing's setting up. Actually, it kind of had a setup right here and here, right? This thing is about to start delivering. This thing, Pepe USD, it's delivering. This thing, set up through here, it's delivering. This thing, set up through here, it's delivering. This thing, kind of setting up, a little bit weak, but that's okay. This thing, Ethereum, set up, it's delivering. It's already in the full delivery. Like, look at this. This is at break even now, easily, right? This thing, it's setting up, it's delivering. It's all the same thing. This thing, it's set up, it's delivering. This thing, I traded it multiple times. This right here was a loss. Let me record that for you guys. There you go. I have it recorded in my sheet already, but that's fine. LINKUSD, guys. Dun 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 dun. How did he know? It's set up, it's delivering. And I'm in this trade as we speak. I got into this last night. I'm literally, like, I don't know if you can see it in my eyes. I got the baggies or whatever. I am tired out of my mind because I have a fucking alarm every 2 hours during the night so I can check in on the trade because I have to do this on a 24-hour market, right? This has been one of the most sleepless months for me in my life. Why? Because the things that I'm trading are 24-hour markets. So I'm just like, every 2 hours. Okay, back to sleep. 2 hours. Oh, fuck. Gotta manage that shit. Open up the Coinbase. You know, put the shit in. Like, this is the life of a trader. That just so you guys know, that's an unforeseen thing that I did not see happening. That I trade almost any crypto like less than 4 months ago. Did you guys see me showing up every day? Crypto! Buy! Get into crypto! Get it! Did you see any of that 4 months ago? Yes or no? Like, when you showed up to the webinars, I'm all like, guys, I'm looking at ADA USD and XRP USD and LINKUSD and Ethereum USD and MOG USD and fucking Pepe USD. No. It was like, guys, I think stocks look amazing. Stocks are beautiful, right? Stocks have this beautifully delivering market currently. I want to trade the stocks. I want to get long. I want to get long. I want to get long. I'm getting long every single day. And then all of a sudden, from the fucking bushes, on June 23rd, exactly 1 month ago, we had the accumulation candle that said, hey, keep an eye on me. I might be doing something. And from those webinars, do you guys remember what happened on the very first webinar on basically the 29th? Well, we can literally, because you guys are all here, you can go back and see this for yourself. That's the beautiful thing about being here as well. Nothing is like, it's all there. This is when we first started going, hey, there might be something to check out. There might be something to keep an eye on. Where is my crypto? I will find it. I will find it. Ooh, is that it? What's this? Oh, what's that? He's already starting to look at cryptos. There's already cryptos that are starting to show up that he's now looking to get long on. That's very interesting. Why is he doing that? Oh, what's that? Crypto? Bitcoin USD? He's starting to expect longs on this thing? That's interesting. I wonder why he's doing that. Wait, what's that? He's on Bitcoin and on the V time frame. What is that he expects? He expects moves through this MMB to create longs? I don't think so. I think this is all hindsight. Let me go see what Mr. Ment was looking at, this hindsight king. Oh wait, holy shit. He made that webinar here? This is where he was expecting longs? And hold on, there might be something to this methodology. Hold on. This is crazy. And now all of a sudden, as we move into a fully bullish market, what have I been doing? Where are the trades? They're gonna be inside of all this. Where are the trades? They're gonna be inside of all this. Guys, what am I looking for? You can see it in front of you. Where are the trades? Where are the trades? Where are the trades? Look at these markets. Look at them. They're in. Look at these. What are these markets? They're insane. These are, it's like free money on a tree. Just reach up and grab it, right? This is the idea of course, having the screener available to you. This is the idea of having things to screen for instead of thinking in terms of like, today is a new day. Euro USD. Tell me, crystal ball, where might you be? Right? Every day for me is just a game of what assets are showing strength, what assets are showing that they might be moving into a V and a C that could be one-sided. Let me go and play those assets to those side. That's it. There's nothing more for me to do. And I show up every day, like, look at these things. Turbo USD. I traded this thing, I took a break even on it, I know, and look at this. This is a phenomenal setup. There's nothing new here. Does anyone look at this trade right here, this buy stop of this MB, and think, I've never learned this. I have never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like a stage 2 into a flush below the MAs that starts moving higher to buy an MB inside of a validation time frame that has moved bullish and moved sideways on the rising 5, 10, and 20. How many of you are sitting here going, I have never seen this? And how many of you are going, oh my fucking God? There's no way he's literally talking about the exact same thing that I've gone through for my 20 hours inside of the course. How is it possible that all he does is the same exact thing? Right? It must be getting boring. And you're right, it's boring as shit. And I want to make it really clear that during even all this time of action, here's like one of my trades that's actually working out really well. Now look at this, guys. Just in the time of this webinar, this thing had floated 4 hours, now up like 3.2. I'm going to actually set an alert just so I have it set around like this kind of 5-ish area. I'm just going to set one up for myself. Okay. I just want that set up for myself just in case it goes off, right? So, right, like this is a trade I literally took last night, and again, there was no expectancy out of this. It's like this could have just been a nothingness. Like I'll even show you guys this. Let me show you. When I took it last night, this has to be made really clear to a lot of people. When I took this last night, I want to show you the update that I made. So I took it right through the buy stop here. This, by the way, ignore this line. This was an alert I had just in case price started going up, so that's why I have it taken there. But let me show you. Instant drawdown off the entry, still holding and letting it do whatever. Like, I want to make this really clear. Like, even after taking this, here's what the trade looked like. Let's go like this. Let's open up a second. Let's go to LINKUSD just very quickly. Let's open this up. Let's open up the 1 minute on this, and let's show this entry from, let me go like this, from this point right here. Okay, so I want this to be made really, really clear. Like, so from the point of entry, so boom, I get tapped in. I want you to see what this trade actually did. From entry, okay, boom, right? This is now down 0.5 RR. Like, and this is why I wrote it. Hold on, I think it goes even deeper, I'm pretty sure, but let's just check. No, I guess it doesn't. It just kind of plays around here. And that was basically it. Right, but the point is, like, from the moment of actual entry, if you pay attention to this trade, it was instant drawdown. Boom. Right? It literally came back down. And to a lot of people, like this, you know, this, I was already expecting this probably gonna lose. This is probably gonna lose, right? It doesn't matter, but that's what the expectancy is. So like, this isn't like something that I sent out because it started moving, oh god, right? I bought into it and then it just, you know, it started going sideways instead of up like it normally does, all good. And then the next candle started playing around and nothing happened. And I waited, and by the morning, because there was nothing really to do, and by morning I had moved to break even. And I'll tell you guys, at night, I moved to break even, I think it was like 4 a.m. or 2 a.m. Let me double check. Yeah, okay, I remember now. Yeah, so when my 2 a.m. thing went off, this is where price was. I believe, right here, or 4 a.m., somewhere here. I remember around 2 to 4 a.m., I'm literally like sleep deprived as shit. But around this 2 to 4 a.m. is when I moved to break even, right? Because, well, price started moving. And I'll even show you the 5 minute, the E micro, or the 4 minute, whatever you want to call it. And look at this. Look at how beautiful this is. Price takes off, fucks around for a while, and then what? Goes higher, pauses, takes off, and at this point you can move to break even, or at this point you can move to break even. And either way, what happens when demand is truly validated? Well, that's it. And now I'm up here on this trade. Did you go break even because the price was right or because you wanted some sleep? Because the price was right. I had an alarm set at 1:58 a.m. at I'll just get my phone out. Hold on. Okay, it's gonna take too long. But 2 minutes before every 2 a.m. candle, or every 2 hour candle, right? So 1:58 a.m., 3:58 a.m., 5:58 a.m., and then 7:58 a.m., right? I had all these alerts set in the event that I needed to manage, because I still have to manage if I'm in a trade, right? Or break even or manage a partial. Because again, I don't know, well, I can't guess if this candle here could have been a candle like this, right? Does everyone understand that? Like, we have no prediction. This could have easily happened, which means that if I'm waking up at that 1:58 a.m. or 2:58 a.m., sorry, 3:58 a.m., and it's here, I'm gonna partial, right? Because this is one of those absurd moves where I'm gonna partial out of the move, of course. Because like you don't, like, let me see if I can find an example. I mean, there's not even an example like that recently. Like, I don't really see one. Yeah, but you don't know if you'll get like a candle like this, you know? Like a 12% candle in like one move. You don't know if that's gonna happen. So I have my alert set because, again, I need to be there for the market. My job as a trader is being there for the market. Some of the drawdowns to being a trader is that if I'm trading a market that's 24/7, but there's a lot of opportunities, like there have been, then I'm gonna be awake. I'm gonna make my schedule work around that. I'm going to make my life work around that because that's what I fucking do. That's my opportunity. That's my RR opportunity for the potential year or whatever, right? Where's my link? Yeah, here's my link. Right now it's at 0 instead of -1. So again, you can see before I even do anything, I assume a loss on this thing, right? Most importantly, every trade I take is an assumed loss. You guys know about this? This is my rule. This is my assumed curve no matter what. But then it gets better. And now we're right here. Nothing special. Well, let it load. Nothing special. Nothing new. The curve barely gets affected because now I have enough individual trades to the point where individual good trades don't really affect the curve because whether they go up, down, or sideways doesn't matter, but the really nice winners will affect the curve. So at a floating level, let's go back here. At a floating level, right, if I really wanted to take a full TP, 3.5R right here, and this is 3.5, right, then theoretically my equity, not balance, looks like this right now. I'm still in like miniature drawdown from here to here, right? Now again, if this keeps going, I'm gonna be at all-time highs again. And next Sunday, what are you guys gonna hear? Well, guys, I followed my rules led to many break-evens and losses, and now I'm at all-time highs again. Otherwise, let's keep following my rules. Because there's only one thing to do. So I'm gonna make this back to a 0, because that's what it's currently expected at. Since I have no partials on this at all right now, the expectancy is simply for it to come all the way back, and no money is made. Otherwise, well, let's get a stage 2 out of this. All right, let's get one of these out of it. Let's get one of these out of it. A market that has what? Proven itself already is now the one that's making a move. Couple that with the other factors of the fact that the proof comes from an EVC that looks beautiful. Couple that with the fact that relatively we're in a market condition that is extremely bullish. And you have a fundamentally sound trading idea, even on something that seems kind of random, with pure confidence, right? I have nothing but confidence in every execution. I have nothing but confidence in this trade, regardless of its outcome. This is a beautiful trade. Look at what it looks like. Look at this validation time frame. Beautiful. And now, once again, think back to NASDAQ. Let's go to NQ, actually. Think back to NASDAQ on a 6-minute during this week, during some days, right? And look at the moves that you had on this thing. Does this right here remind you of anything? Right there. What does this remind you of? This should remind you of LINKUSD on the daily. This is the same kind of principle. Same thing. Same thing. It's all the same thing. These are the opportunities that make money. These are the opportunities I search for. These are the opportunities where I myself can take place and make money for myself, right? Rose says, would it be feasible to use DXY like a Bitcoin USD for relativity on FX pairs when context is clear? Sure, you can use DXY, you can use similar XXX USD pairs, you can use any pairs that look somewhat correlated. Of course, why not? Okay, I know you're asking about DXY because a lot of smart money quote unquote YouTubers say, you must check the DXY, this is very good. The reason DXY works is because it's just simply a USD based pair. And if you compare a USD based pair to a Euro USD or whatever, and you look for the relativity, then yes, it's perfectly fine, but it's nothing special. DXY simply means USD. So if you compare Euro USD or USD CHF or USD JPY to something with USD in it, yeah, right? Like, sure, by all means, this is basic relativity, right? So yes, your answer is yes. But don't think it's because, you know, someone told you that DXY is the answer to all prayers. It's just simply the fact that, because like, again, Euro USD, DXY, I bet they're just flips of each other, right? Right? DXY moving down just went into like a weird accumulation, but not really. Euro USD moving up and went into a weird distribution or whatever, right? They're flips. They're exact the same thing. So you can use EU or you can use DXY. It doesn't really matter, right? They're exactly the same. Exactly the same. So, yeah. And speaking of EU, actually, it went into a beautiful distribution, potentially to become accumulation here. So, for those of you that trade FX, my eyes would very much be on kind of this high here at 16736, whatever. If price can start making its way above here, you're talking about an accumulation cycle for a stage 2 like this. So this should actually put in a very nice moment for some FX-based traders. This is reminding of Bitcoin before the run, right? So it's right here. Comparative to Bitcoin, it might be right here or right here. So wait for accumulation to start trading it, or wait for accumulation to start trading it, right? Very simple. So for the mini like Euro USD rundown for the week, right? Like simply just let the accumulation come in. If anything, you know what would be better on this? What would be better is sideways. Oh, sorry. What would be better is sideways, continuation distribution, sideways, accumulation. And then you play the MMB1s and trade this higher. This would be amazing, right? A shittier version of this would be accumulation into, once again, failure into accumulation, MMB, and then follow, right? But either way, this is all possible for like a very nice bullish cycle. So like think what happened here to happen here. That would be perfect. Let me scroll up here and take a look at what's going on. So actually, before I continue, let's do a full breakdown of this trade, just in reference to everything that you guys know and that you guys have learned and followed and seen me talk about for months on end. Right? Everything started with the fact, once again, all the analysis and all the reasoning that I have for now staying up and fucking my sleep schedule, and even then it's not even fucking my sleep schedule because that's my job, right? My job is to be there for the market that is most tradable, that is most available, that is most liquid, and delivering the best, right? So I want it to be clear, like before I even continue, that like I'm not screwing my sleep schedule. Well, I am, but I'm doing it because this is my job, right? One of the things that I discussed with you guys before, the unaccounted for things, is that sometimes there will be assets where, well, if I have nothing to do during the US session, or there's not much to do because of the given state of it, then I'm going to be there for the cryptos, right? Which could happen at any time. So I can either trade like a daily chart as my entry, right? Where I enter something like this for double MB. Because again, this is I have a few friends that have quite large net worths, like very large, bigger than mine. And what they did is they executed the longs around here. This was their actual entry. The daily counted as their entry. And they're just holding this position now, right? Because, well, this is their trade, right? So if you want to think about the way they think, like their EVC is more so along the lines of a daily, a weekly, and like a 12-week, 10-week, right? So for them, look at this C time frame. Is this a C time frame that is relatively one-sided, that is showing one present bias and is worth trading as a C? Is this a good C or not? Like, I mean, any of you should be able to answer that. Let me do it on a different Bitcoin USD so there's no markings. Nice. Is this a good C? Guys, look at this C. It's fucking beautiful, right? Okay, if that's my C, what should my V be? Well, it's divided by 10, right? A weekly. Okay, is this a good V? Accumulation MB, MMB1. So where should the trades generally be? They're going to be inside of this stage 2 leg, and can everyone see it? So if that's my V, what should my entry be? A daily. Oh God, what do you see? Stage 2, flush, move higher, double MB, move higher, double MB. Can you guys guess where some of the people that I know with large net worths executed crypto? All right, what's going on, guys? I'm gonna interject for less than a second, but since you made it this far, first of all, thank you for watching this and watching this far. This cheat sheet, unless you're already on the inside of the team where you already know that you have this, if you're watching this publicly and you're this far into the video, first of all, congratulations. You pretty much beat out 90% of most traders. This cheat sheet right here with the general EVC structure, with the momentum cycle, with the entry cycle, and with the full cycle, as well as screening rules if you ever go use a free screener or end up becoming a part of the team. So this is some very simple things. And these are basically the fundamentals of what I use to actually enter. And, you know, if you watch this video fully, then you'll see my entries always constitute an entry through like one of these little areas here, through one of these like blue kind of areas here. So you can save this, print this out, have it on your wall, because quite literally, this is all I do. I don't have these substantive, complex ideals and ideas that you have to like truly remember and all the different names for them. It is quite literally this. This is what I use to execute, and I do it on good markets, clean markets, relatively strong markets over and over and over again. Exactly what you'll see in this video. So if you want this, I'll leave a link below. You'll see it'll say like cheat sheet, link to cheat sheet, something like that. And I don't spam your email, so you know, use your personal email however you feel it. You can always unsubscribe. It's very easy. Drop it down below. I'll send this directly to you. Of course, automated. So literally just go, put it in, and you'll get it. All right. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest. Bye. Wow. It's crazy. It's crazy how it's the same thing on repeat. You know what? While we're here, I want to show you something I did for a buddy of mine. Just for fun. Who here knows Warren Buffett? I think I'm going to break some of your minds here. I hope. Do you guys know that Warren Buffett doesn't even know that all he does is trades momentum? Did you know that he doesn't even know that all he does is trades momentum? He doesn't. He doesn't know. He trades momentum. I'll show you. Shellings, name 3 things that Warren Buffett has bought that you know by heart. Nah, guys, let Shellings answer. Okay, he said Apple. All right, here's Apple. He uses a yearly because he looks at 10 to 20 years. Ready? Now, what I'll tell you is that he buys basically on the averages. So what I can tell you is that he likely bought his position in Apple either in 2008, either in 2013, in 2015, 2018, or 2022. I guarantee you he started buying in one of these years. Now, when did Warren Buffett buy Apple? He started buying in 2016. There it is. Right there. This is where Buffett bought Apple. Look at the chart. Is this a momentum cycle? Okay. Schellings. Name another thing that you know he's bought, that he's made like good money off of, whatever you want to talk, whatever you want to call it. Coca-Cola, right? We know that, sure. I even did this for a friend, so you're going to see my markings. Ready? I hope this changes your entire perception of trading. You want to know when he bought? He either bought here in 1988, he either bought here in around 2005 up until 2009, or he bought around here in 2016. Okay. When did Warren Buffett buy Coca-Cola? 1988. Right here. On the first pullback on rising averages. Bank of America. Okay, that was the only one that I know that doesn't fully fit the criteria, because he bought this one inside of here. But this was the prior leg. So this is one of the ones that actually didn't fully fit. But again, okay, granted, it happens. And I actually looked back at a lot of stuff he bought, and the stuff that he bought here, like this, actually continued going down, and he lost money on it, just so you know. So he himself doesn't even know how to make his own system better. He could save money and make more money by just simply trading the momentum that he is already trading. Does anyone want to give me another name that he's traded? Microsoft, did he trade that? Why are you saying random shit, bro? Citigroup. Citigroup. Okay, I had this one open too. Yeah, so I'll tell you what. See, okay, Schellings, he bought this one here. I remember this. He bought it here, and look what happened. Just like Bank of America, he basically made no money on it. Why? Because he failed to follow his own momentum. What other ones? What did Warren Buffett buy? American Express, sure. American Express. I even did this one. I remember this one. Look at this. I even pinpointed where he probably bought them. And you guys want to know? He bought it right here. Do you guys understand that what we're doing doesn't just fucking account for like, oh, these little traders, oh, we're figuring out the market. He's literally simply buying momentum too. Now, I don't think he knows that he's doing that. But what's funny is that after 20, 30 years of clean movement, when he looks at the financials and goes, oh shit, this company looks good. The reason it looks good is because it's been doing this. So this is the idea of things being priced into assets and being priced into the price, and the price will represent how the thing is actually potentially doing. So this is why when he buys into something like this and this, if you really look at it, he's buying a down year on a company he believes in. And he believes in the company because of its history. So funny enough, no matter who you are and how much money you have, you can apply the EVC to trade the momentum cycles of almost any fucking time frame. All right, now you guys know. Alex says he doesn't know about momentum. See, that's what I said, right? What I said is he doesn't even know that he's a momentum trader. That's why I said that. Because if I told him about these averages, I might break his mind. I'll show him every single year that he bought something that he made money on and that he lost money on. And the stuff that he made money on, he bought like this. And the stuff he lost money on, he bought way down here. And then it just kind of went sideways. And he wondered why. Literally, the stuff that he bought in the dumps stayed in the dumps and barely maybe made higher or just went lower. And the stuff that he bought like this over the next few years made him money, right? And the only difference is that he has billions, trillions of dollars to put into the markets. So he's using a much higher EVC. Because the higher the EVC, well, the more volume that it trades. So he's able to buy in with large positions. That's it, right? Like, It's a crazy thing to recognize and experience and see for the first time, but if you really understand it, he is buying momentum. That's it. Fope says, but what's a better ROI? I don't see myself making billions in trading, but I don't understand how he did it with long-term plays like with this. Okay, so Fope, if you have $1 million and you bought it here, right? During the same exact time that Warren would buy it on, and then you held it. This is a 300% gain. Apple, if you did the same thing and you bought it where he bought it, okay? This is a 583% gain. Over 7 years, if you can make 600% on a few names, you compound your money very quickly. And especially if you have no downside, because guess what Warren does? He buys and holds. So even if it goes against him, he'll wait 30 more years until it recovers. All he has over you is 1, more money, and 2, time. I guarantee you, Mr. Fope, you don't want to buy into, let me show you. I was looking at this exact system. You can buy into Disney right now. This is a good trade. But guess what? For this to play out, you're probably going to have to wait at least 10, 30 years. Now, if you have 10, 30 years to wait, put your money into it and let it triple, let it quadruple, let it go 5x, 10x. Right? Nothing wrong with that. The only difference is that you don't want to wait 30 years. The difference with him is that when he went in, he was ready to wait. How long? 40 years for one position to play out. Do you understand that? So, of course, Fope says, yeah, so he has to hold, locking up his money, and 1 mil to 5 mils, and 1 M to 5 M, still so far from $1 billion. Maybe it was like 30x on Coca-Cola. Sure. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, like, if you buy here, which is what he did, this is a 2,700% gain. Like, I don't think you understand that, right? Like, with a $3 million position or risk or whatever, that's, you return 81 mil over that time, right? Like, you have to realize the way this works, right? You have to think about it mathematically. Like, he buys in and he waits. If you want to buy into an MMV and wait, 20, 40 years, then sure. It'll work for you too. There's nothing special. So this is just something to keep in mind. But again, there's nothing special. It's momentum. He literally doesn't know that he's trading momentum. That is one of the it's a really crazy thing to see. But all he's doing is seeing a market like this, and he buys in. He sees a market like this, and he buys in. He sees a market like this, and he buys in, and he holds. And because it's a much higher time frame, and has more time associated with it, that makes even less of a chance for the fraudulent shit, for the shit that won't work, and for the bad shit to evaporate. Because if something can be in business for 12 years or 20 years going up, and then you buy it, what are the odds that it stays in business and keeps going up? Much higher than something that goes up for 6 minutes, and then you hope the next 6 minutes go up as well. Or something that goes up for 3 days, and the next 4 days you want it to go up as well. All he did is he moved himself to a higher time frame where more things are accounted for, and therefore it's almost like, this is why I've spoken a lot about the fact that the lower you go, the more noise you associate with much shorter term stuff. Rollovers, red news, spread increases, randomness, big orders. That happens more and more the lower you go. The higher you go, the less of that exists. And the higher you go over the longer period you go, the much more clear a cycle can be while maintaining that cycle, right? Because it takes very large catastrophic things to change that. Does that make sense? So this is why when you've heard me say things like, the lower you go, the more you have to be willing to kind of refine and work around all the action that's happening, because otherwise you're gonna be caught in non-stop chop. The higher you move, the more of that noise is priced in a sense where you can now be more content with the actions you're taking, potentially, right? Which is why you would tell young Anton to move to... Yes, exactly. This is exactly why I tell him to move to higher timeframes. Yes, 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 yes. More E-liquid moments. Yes, the lower the E, the more E-liquid moments. Correct, right? Very well said. Like, I needed to, like, it's very interesting to think about because you know how long it's been since I've even thought about rollover is coming, right? Or red news is coming out. It's been like over a year plus. Cause like, wait, think I give a fuck about rollover now, right? Like, it's like, oh no, rollover's coming, but watch out. It's like, okay, whatever. Like, who cares? Similarly, why do you think Buffett is okay with huge times of inflation or wars? Because he's so high that those things are so priced in that they're almost short-term news for him. So when he hears there's a war, he's thinking, okay, I'm gonna wait 30 years. Right? The housing market is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna wait 30 years. Because those things are now the red news for him. Right? Do you guys kind of understand that? It's like your CPI and your FOMC is Warren Buffett's 16-year war. He's like, some red news. It's fine. you guys like understand that? Oh, is this some red news? It's like, oh, who's president? It's just some red news. Who cares? Right? Do you buy stocks on the long-term Ment? No, not like this. I don't hold that long, no. Okay. Trump is yellow folder. Yeah, it's like small. It's like it's nothing, right? To someone that invests using like an outlook like this, none of that stuff matters, right? COVID is just a yellow news event that makes things go down a little bit. Like look at NASDAQ on a 12-month with COVID. Ready? That's COVID or whatever. No, wait. This is COVID. Inside of here was COVID. You guys understand that? This was COVID. Is it that scary now? It's like, okay. Oh shit. COVID's coming, right? Like, okay. It's a red news event. Done. It went down and then it came up. That's it. Nothing more to do. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind as you like get better. But now back to the example that I was giving, right? Bitcoin has moved into that environment. I'm using a daily V, and here's when we were all getting long. And now I'm still expecting immense longs from this. So when we have a very bullish market like this, all I'm thinking about is I want to go long, okay? On crypto specifically. So I've done that. And I've been watching cryptos. And watching cryptos has not netted me just outright trades and trades and trades. Look at this. Well, it's netted me trades, but not big wins and big wins and big wins. Take a look. I want to show you some of the recent trades I've taken. Ready? Break even, -1, run without me. Nothing. By the way, XRP looks kind of decent. Look at Pepe. Oh my, I had this on my list, but I didn't trade it. Look at this. Up already like 4 RR. Okay, whatever. Didn't trade it, right? Didn't trade it. Look at net 2 + 2, about 4 RR, 5 RR made on this random thing. Nothing. -1, break even. -1 to break even. Turbo. Break even. MOG USD. Break even. -1. So before I even go to link here, does everyone see that even though I'm very bullish and have a bias and have a watch list, that the act of now trading and showing up and setting my alerts does not net me a ton of like wins. There's one win that I just showed you. One win, here it is. And this win paid for all those losses and break-evens. And if one win now keeps happening, then I'm going to be up. And now I'm at all-time highs. Over and over and over again. Right? So that leads me to this thing. What do I see when I move to this? First thing is I look at my weekly. What is the general story here? We have a general sideways market with a rising 50 that then went sideways, and then we had an accumulation MB. This is what I suppose to be the accumulation MB. I'm literally trading into the accumulation. On the daily, what do I see? I see a market that is relatively similar or ahead of crypto, right? Because it's showing a ton of strength. So as price moved into accumulation from the stage 1 and started going MMB1, MMB1/2, MMB 2/3, all I'm thinking is I want to get behind this. And look, I even had my alert set. The second my alert goes off, I start keeping an eye on the thing that it's going off on. What do I see? I see a stage 2. I see a flush. I see the buildup of an MB, a double MB, and this already right here is a valid trade. For some people, this was their trade. For some people, this is a valid trade that they took. Stop loss may be here or here or here based on their system, and they're making money on it now. I waited. This was too loose for me, so I waited. That's fine. Price moves higher and pauses. What do I see? This counts as its own flush as well. MB1, MB2. What do? I set up a buy stop through the high. Nothing new. Stage 2, flush, move higher, buy stop the high, in expectancy of the exact same dumb setup model, whatever you want to call it, over and over and over again. Set up my buy stop. My buy stop gets hit. I wait, I move to break even. Price moves substantially away and starts making a beautiful stage 2. Now it's management time. Right? There's nothing else. Now again, I ask, is there anything specifically about this trade that you don't understand? That you personally are like, this makes no sense. This doesn't follow the portal material. This doesn't follow the steps that I've learned. This doesn't follow the material as it's been taught. And if you do feel that way, or if you just have a natural question, please ask it, right? Because, well, the point of this is to get it across. CP says Link was really nice, but SUI or whatever, isn't that a bit choppy? Let's go take a look. Well, I didn't trade this here. I traded it here. Look at it when I traded it. SUI? Oh, SEI? Okay. So I traded SEI right here. This looks really good to me. I can see you saying it's a little choppy because of these wicks here. In which case, you know, maybe I could have prevented taking that loss, because theoretically, if you really want to think about it, right, the fact that we have wicks means that we're probably going to keep getting wicks, and my entry actually got wicked out before it went into major profit. So if anything, you might be even right. I could have potentially ignored it. But again, in this case, my brain is saying this. My brain is saying crypto extremely hot, crypto extremely good, SEI, big moves, in a relatively strong market. I want to get into it, and I'm okay with taking that risk if nothing else is available, so the loss is more worth it for me. And if this doesn't happen, this is worth, 3, 5, 6R. So that's where my brain is, but you might even be correct. I could have just ignored it completely, right? So both things are correct there. The most important thing is that I'm not sitting there taking this kind of trade on 5 different things and then taking -5R randomly, right? It's more of like, everything has led to this setup. This is the setup that's cleanest at this given point. The relativity is there. The cycle is there. The things are there. I'm okay with the risk. I'm okay to put this on my watch list, to take the risk and let it either play out or fail. And if it fails, I walk away, right? So in that scenario, like, this was perfect. But again, the question wasn't about that. The question was specifically, does anything about this current trade that I'm running on make you go, this is some hindsight bullshit? First of all, that could be one. Or, what is he actually doing? This makes no sense. Or where's the double MB? Or why is this stop like that? Or anything else. If you have any question around that, I would love for anyone to ask it. But I'm going to look at some other stuff that some people said just to see if I miss anything. Bearish Bull says, do we keep updating the containment lines? For example, if a double MB set up out of the initial containment line, do we then consider the high that just failed as part of the containment? No, not necessarily, no. I don't need to update anything. I just follow the action. And again, I really just draw the containment lines for the purpose of setting alerts. Like, because I just want to see it come up and out of areas. Like, I can even draw my containment lines like this sometimes. Like, I'll draw them over the bodies and set an alert here. And then if I do that, what's going to happen is the alert's going to go off like around here. And then this could be a buy stop right there. And this is my profit on that buy stop. So I'm not going to sit there and go, okay, I got to update to this high. Okay, I got to update to this high. I don't understand that at all. For me, I literally set them to set alerts. And when price starts moving beyond that or right at it, I can now get in because I understand that we're moving beyond demand or a format of demand. And yeah, like Black said, CL is more personal. It's just completely preferential. You could even just not use them if you want and just play the fact that you have flush plus stage 2s. Like again, I'm not going to update this line now like this. So like why would I do this? Like what is, so like the question would be, why would I update this like that? Right? It doesn't change. It doesn't help me with anything. Right? I'm instead focused on the fact that we have this beautiful stage 2 flush setup move on something that I've been watching for a long time. Right? Fope says, do you ever take double MBs formed at / just under the EMAs? Very rarely, so almost never. At the EMAs, yes. Under, no. Almost never. But they can work really well. Like, for instance, you have this one here, right? It's under, but it works. You have this one here, it's under. Oh, well, this one actually wicks, but it works. Yeah. That's preference. You can decide how you want to trade or which double MBs you want to trade. This is where your own... what do you call it? This is where your own data is very important, because if you see that a lot of the trades that you do really well on happen like under, then sure, you can take them. But no, I very rarely take stuff that's under. How low could this be on Link? If the setup on Link happened right here, on this candle, I would have bought it. Like if this candle went sideways right here. So if there was another candle that went sideways, I would buy stop this high. Of course. This is perfect, because this is still the MB. And if anything, this is a double MB nested within. So you have this double MB forming, and within that double MB, there would have been, let's do it in a different color, there would have been MB1. And then if this formed as another double MB, right? Like this is literally nesting a double MB within what's already apparent to be a clean setup. So I'd be more than happy to buy stop even here through this high, because it meets all my rules, right? Like, again, I'm letting the simple entry tell me when it's time to take something that's worth the risk, because everything else is already done, right? All the other work is done. The other work was saying, hey, understand where I am cyclically. I understand where I am market-wise. I want to get behind this market because I understand what we're looking at, right? So then all I'm thinking to myself is, how do I get behind these markets? How do I get behind these markets? And all I'm doing is I'm using the cycle to get into them, right? Sport mode said, men, look at XRP at 1 hour context time frame using men structure. Would you consider this range to... I'm not going to use men structure for it. Would you consider this range to be too long, choppy, and should we wait for a break? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to look at XRP. I have it right here. Okay. No, longs right now are great. And if this is your C, then you're looking at a 6-minute and a 1-minute entry. 6-minute, it's starting to get very choppy. So there's nothing really to follow here. So if you're trading this on a 1 hour C, what you're waiting for is accumulation, clean accumulation, nice MMB1, and you can trade it inside of here. There's nothing else to do. What else is there to do here? This 6-minute is, as your V, isn't really that clean. So, yeah. I would not really touch this one on a lower time frame. But yes, it's forming MMBs right now. It's in the process of making MMBs in a bullish C time frame. This is perfect. The C, well, I mean, it would make sense that this is just going to continue now, because that's what we're playing. So you don't think the context is too long? What? I don't know what that means. This is a bullish market. If this is your C time frame, then longs look good, but it's not ready on the lower EVC yet. CP says, do you suggest lower time frame traders to stick to 1 or 2 assets and sit out days? Or do you think trading multiple pairs is a good idea? That's completely up to the person. I'm finding that even though my BT trading multiple pairs is very profitable, recent market conditions making my DD a lot deeper. So really, if we are sticking with strict DD rules, do you think it's best to stick to 1 asset or pair? So I think you answered the question for yourself there, right? Based on your own trading, it seems like the answer is yes for you. But it's completely dependent on the person. Fope says, could this have been a buy stop, or would the daily not have a containment line enough of a pullback? I already spoke about this exact buy stop. You need to rewatch the webinar after, because I mean, I remember as I walked through this, I said this is already a valid buy stop for some people based on their own rules with a stop here or here or here. I didn't take it because it was too loose. You have to listen to the webinars, because this was, I mean, I literally walked through this exact example from my exact trade and said I skipped it because of that, and I was willing to trade this one. So you have to like rewatch the webinar and pay attention, because I literally went over that exact example. I even drew it. I said MB1, MB2, you can trade this. For me, it was too loose. I literally said that. I like, unless I am dementia patient number one, right? Like, Freud says, at what point in a C time frame do you start looking for shorts? Is it when the 50 starts to slope downwards along with the distribution? I look for C time frame shorts when you get a C time frame that looks like this, but flipped. So I guess I would look for a C time frame short when the market looks like that. Here, let me color it for you. You can take a photo if you want. Here you are. This is when I'd be okay with a C market short. Okay. For Freud. Yep. Remember, everything is the exact same thing, man. Apply it to any direction. The portal was taught from a bullish direction, but you can apply it the exact same way flipped, especially when you go into some much more bearish markets or if you trade some lower time frames. But the reality of a lot of markets is that upside is always going to be potentially cleaner. I haven't really seen a bearish market yet where I could get involved on my given time frames to the bearish side. But yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah. Ben says, hey man, this is a bit nuanced specific, but I'd be very interested in your thoughts on this. So I'm interested to know how you determine when a flush has become too deep to trade. If we take the attached recent Ethereum USD 1 hour chart as an example, my tested rules would allow me to trade the major flush and enter the double MB at point A, as long as the structural point X was not broken. We'd love to hear your thoughts. X. I mean, I don't care about X here at all. But yeah, this looks okay. Makes sense. Yeah, in this case, I don't really care about X. I can't give you an easily defined. I don't have a defined rule for the flush is too deep. I just look at the market, right? It's either within the realm of what I've traded and I'm used to and I'm happy with, or I'm not, right? Like I'm not when this is happening, I'm not thinking it can't take out this low. Like I don't care about that. I just care about the fact that we have our rules met and the setup looks good, to put it simply, right? Yeah. I don't have anything like that. Carr says, yeah, I've noticed longs usually play out a lot better than shorts. I mean, it just depends. It depends on the timeframes you're trading, depends on the assets you're trading, depends on the context timeframes you're in. Because again, even to your own point recently, if you told me, right, you're getting short on NASDAQ in the last week, which I think you try to do, and then you think that, you know, shorts aren't playing out as well as longs, well, you know, there's a context as to why that is, right? Like, imagine someone coming to you and saying, hey, Anton, my shorts didn't work as well as longs inside of this action, right? What would my answer be? It's like, wow, that is fucking crazy, right? Similarly, if someone came to me and said, hey, Anton, right, my longs didn't work as well as my shorts did during this, right? I mean, yeah, you're completely correct, right? You have market, like this is when, if you guys remember, people on NQ made big money on shorts, right? And now if you're telling me, you know, shorts don't work as well, it's like, shit, who would have known? Like, the easy way to think about this is, do you know how many people were going short here and are now trapped, were going short here and are now trapped, are trying to pinpoint a high, are now trapped, trying to pinpoint a high, are now trapped, pinpoint a high, now trapped, pinpoint a high, now trapped, and now, oh god, I gotta go down. Like, yeah. the people going short in a bullish market are going to have shorts work poorly, right? It's just like, it's like a guarantee. This is why I said throughout the week, all I want to do right now is follow the longs, follow the stage 2s that happen. So I kept saying this even in the mentfx mentfx trade updates, where I said, even beginning of the week, I'll show you this right now, just so everyone is clear on this. Seems like lower time frame futures continue to move in stage 2s and create opportunities on lower, right? So everything is stage 2, opportunity lower. Stage 2, opportunity lower. Those stage 2s are opportunities, opportunities, opportunities on lower. Stage 2s are those opportunities, 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 opportunities on lower. Beautiful opportunities during the week. Go back to more start of the week. What do I say? Would love to see something like this over the next few days to get a proper reset and start marking higher. Right? Still bullish overall, but if I'm trading my time frames, I want to see it reset and keep going. Perfectly fine. Not expecting shorts though, of course. Expecting or trying to predict shorts is insane. Then even recently, right here, almost by the end of the week, I wrote, would be approaching NASDAQ very simply. Assume same thing as always, let it deliver. If 1 hour acts as your C and you're trading lowers, it should be a bit choppy on the bearish side. Wait for stage 2, try to capture it higher. Expectancy is what? Choppish on the bearish side, because you're in a bullish context overall, especially EVCC, and let a stage 2 play out so you can play it. So again, if I'm approaching this upcoming week, what am I doing? Well, it's very simple. Upcoming week, I want to trade this stage 2, right? That's it. Play the stage 2s to the upside. Let them show themselves. Don't try to be the person that thinks this is the high and predict the final high of the day, because it's useless. The people that thought this was the high started getting short, 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 and are now losing money. The people that are going to try to get short, 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 short are likely going to be losing money. Play the side of the action that's delivering. There's no reason not to. And then when the market goes to something like this, where you're no longer predicting a high to be short, and it then goes into full shorts, sure, by all means, if you really want, follow those shorts. Follow those shorts. And then don't try to predict the longs, and the longs, wait, and then follow the longs, and 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 follow the longs, right? Don't try to predict this. There's too many people that are already doing this job. Let them do their job of predicting the shorts, okay? You're not here for that. We trade momentum. We trade cycles. The cycles are showing us one thing over and over and over again. Karar says, yeah, looking back at it, it was a horrible short. I did some data collection and came to the conclusion that the C wasn't clean. Well, that area you highlighted from the top is kind of where I traded similarly. Well, like somewhere in here. Yeah, you don't want to trade that. Master Jamie says, hey, Anton, I've done refinements to my entry criteria, and now I'm doing more case studying. Is it normal to be out of a lot more moves now because of the rules? Yeah, of course. I found it more common to just watch markets moves without me, but I do also prefer the new rules when they do work. Yes, of course. Most of trading is waiting. That's it. It's as easy as it gets. Bitcoin. When did I start trading this thing again? When have I taken a lot of trades? Most of the trades I've taken recently have been right here. These are the times in which I'm trading. Everything else, I didn't trade, right? Yes, I do a lot of waiting. And then within this tradable action, I've only traded maybe on this day, and this day. So again, by going just by portal material, tradable action, untradable action, actual action I executed within the tradable action. Less than 5% was actual execution, right? Or let's go like this, sorry. There we go. Less than 5% was actual execution. So yes, entirely correct that when you have rules, you will not be trading as much. Abby says, what do you suggest for lower time frame stock traders? If QQQ is falling, should we ignore trading for a while and wait for stage 2 or work with the screen or trade stocks that are rising? This is a market environment within which bullish is good. If you see bullish things, you should be trading bullish. Similarly, this is a market environment within bullish is good. Just because Bitcoin's having a down day on this day doesn't mean you can't be trading the lower time frame entries. Right? So trade them. And also, just collect the data on it. You'll be able to see it. Like, one day of collecting data on it and you'll know more. Is Echo Janovic in today? I don't know what that even means, brother. What do you think about the FET USD? I don't know. I don't know what I think about it. It looks like a weaker version of every other pair. A choppier and weaker version. Accumulation, chop MMB, wicks. Ready to look at the others? Clean accumulation, no chop MMBs. Clean accumulation, no chop MMBs. Clean accumulation, no chop MMBs. Clean accumulations, no chop MMBs, or delivering very well. Clean accumulations. Clean accumulation and moves away. Clean accumulation moves away. Clean accumulations and moves away. Clean accumulation moves away. And then you chose to trade this. Yeah, this is terrible. Yeah, this is terrible. Terrible market. You are, to put it simply, you are very lucky we're in a bullish market and you might get the reward out of this. That's really it. That's as far as this goes. This is a terrible, like, it's absolutely terrible. Although this setup, the actual 2-hour entry itself is clean. Like, this made a really nice move and went sideways nicely. So I guess that's your only saving grace. But even then, I would have gotten break even on this. Because you have this candle that taps you in, this candle that goes up and comes back, this candle then goes up, and you probably break even on this candle. So it's actually a break even for me. But yeah, I don't know. It's just weaker. It's only working because you have a, look at this, look at my screen. Green, 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 green. So the reason this is working is because of the actual market condition. The reason your trade is working right now is because of this, which is great because at least you understand that relativity. At least you understand that because something is so strong, you can quite literally make money trading anything. That's the crazy part about understanding relativity or cycles, right? But yeah, it looks like a weaker version. I don't like it that much. Do you look at the weekly, says Devil? Yes, it's my C time frame. So even though the setup is pretty good, I guess, I just don't like it. It's just not for me. Obby says, for MMB entries, what kind of alerts do you use? I'm sending a 5 EMA indicator alert. Is there any other way? Yeah, I draw a line and then I set an alert on it. That's it. I draw a line and I set an alert. I draw a line, I set an alert. Really nothing else. I don't, like, yeah. And then I look at everything every day. One time. This trade's going really nicely. Two, yeah, it looks good. Scully says, in regards to the context time frame, usually I'll require a candle close. I don't. When a market is uber bullish, sometimes the bullish C candle is so strong that I'll miss a lot of opportunity. Yep. Do you have any suggestions? Yeah, you don't have to wait for a close. I mean, it's very easy, right? Like, what else is there to say? Yeah, I think you're overthinking it. I don't care about the close. With the simplest format of that being exactly what you learned in the portal. This right here. This C might just start an accumulation, but that accumulation might close right there. But in that accumulation, your V has done multiple MMB setups. And within that were actual opportunities to make money inside of these legs. So it's completely up to you. So it's about watching the V. Well, I mean, yeah, of course. The V gets you the MMBs that get you into trades. Right? One small C leg can be an unbelievable amount of opportunities. Like, think about, I guess not Bitcoin because it's so clean, but yeah, Bitcoin's already very clean. But think about like some other things. Like, look, here's Link. This might be one candle and then another candle, and that could be the entire bullish market on Link. And I could make, 12, 15 R out of it. This is literally from this example. Now, if the C continues, then we're going to go through new Vs that break down and restart moving, and then I can play those. But I don't need a candle close. Crow Luca says, hi, Anton. I'm going through the portal right now. Just finished the MA section. It is absolutely amazing. I also watched the webinars from 150 to 180, moving through both now. The amount of knowledge I gained is massive. You are an excellent teacher, and I love the way you teach. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to master this skill and to actually change my life. Dude, I appreciate you a lot. If you can, since the moment I found you, I knew you are the best. Thank you so much. I'm from Croatia. That's awesome, man. If you can take that message and stick it in the testimonials or the post your wins or whatever, that would mean a fuck ton to me, because I don't want it just to live in the like the webinar chat or whatever. But Crow Luca, I'm really happy for you. I'm happy to have you on the team, and it seems like you're learning a ton, which I'm very happy about. That's amazing. That's literally what this whole space was for. Yeah. Wow, look at this thing. This thing is so beautiful too. This random Pepe thing. So like for Scully, I guess in this case you're fine, right? If you waited for this close, it would have been fine, and then you would have been able to get into maybe these trades here, right? Wow. Wow, dude. Yeah, the amount of opportunity right now is disgusting. You just literally can buy anything and it probably goes up. It's so funny to see. But Baby says, what about overextended C way beyond MMB4? How do you deal with that? You don't trade it. Right? ARB USD looks similar with Link. Bullish, not very weak. I think this is right entry, correct. The entry itself, before I look at anything, looks pretty decent. You have a nice flush, a clean move up, a nice pause on the averages. You buy stop here. I guess it's all right. You might get stopped out at break even. At least I might have gotten stopped out at break even. Let's go look at your EVC. I mean, again, like almost any. Yeah, I mean, this is actually pretty clean. It just looked different on yours, but yeah, this is pretty clean. Oh, because you're on an hourly. Yes, this is a clean setup. Before even looking at the V and the C, this is pretty good. Very nice up move, nice pause, easy buy stop, move to break even on this candle or this one. Reminds me of Link a little bit, and then off you go. Yeah, this is actually clean. Let's look at the V. Yep. Great, you found one that's a lot better than the other one. Yep. You accumulate out either here or here. MMB1, MMB1/2, 3/4. I mean 2/3, maybe 3/4, or you get one more pause. Yeah, this looks pretty clean. It's better than the others. Look at the weekly. The weekly is a little bit harder to maybe make this a valid case, but you do have a one-sided market. It does go sideways. Like, it sucks because this is like downward sloping a little bit, so this could become distribution. But again, you can get literally one C time frame that looks okay during a moment and do well on it. So, yeah, I guess it's okay. Looks good. It's definitely weaker, but again, anything right now, almost anything, you're gonna make money on. Almost any crypto that you trade right now, that you buy through a high and manage well, you can make money on. Like, it's one of those times where it's like stupid money. Money's just flying through the air. Yes, throw a dart. You throw a dart at the chart, you're gonna make money. So I prefer to do that on good things, because when crypto or when Bitcoin does go sideways, even the good shit can still deliver or go sideways well enough to get you break evens. The bad shit, like FET or maybe even ARB, will just shit the bed, right? So it's completely, yeah, I mean, just be smart. But you can throw a dart at almost anything right now and make money. Like, literally, like, look at Ethereum even. If you were trading this thing, like, dart, you make money. Dart, you make money. Dart, you make money. Dart, you make money. Dart, you might break even or make money. Dart, you might break even or make money. Like, where is it? Dart, you break even or make money. Dart, you make money. Dart, you make money. Dart, you're break even or you're making money. Like, this is one of those times where you quite literally have quote unquote free money available on the table, right? So yeah, so right now, like, the freest form of that money is to screen. In my case for crypto, have a dollar volume based on your size that you're willing to trade, or if you have liquidity issues, up that size, and literally just look through them every single day, or look at a 10 candle change on like an hourly or a 2 hour. Like, Because these are also going to show you trades like Doge. You can look at that. Yeah, like again, like even this thing, just dart, money made, right? Money. One of those examples where you can buy inside, but this is a harder purchase right here. I mean, yeah, they're all the same thing. Like, it's just it's free money on the table. Don't over risk and over leverage on a number of pairs, and you're good. Like, this is when I say free money zones, like stupid money. This is what I mean, right? A lot of that waiting that we did on these pairs and just kept waiting, right? Where we just kept waiting and doing nothing, then became this, and this market has now provided an unbelievable amount of free money, right? So yeah. Can you share the setup, please, from Decay? It's literally, it's in the portal, man. Fope says, Mint, I got 2 questions. How often do you have a trade that after the fact you thought I should not have taken this? Sometimes or never? Almost never. It doesn't really happen because I'm happy with anything I execute risk on, even if it goes poorly. As a beginner-ish, I find myself having it sometimes, especially on lower time frame, of course, with speed. Yep, the lower the time frame, the much more confidence and experience you need. Remember that. Don't forget it. Like, I've said it like 1,000 times. The lower the time frame you're on, the much more work you're actually doing, both on waiting, both on showing up and waiting, on the front of experience, on the front of having to need confidence, having to do it much quicker, having to execute quickly without having any time to think about whether what you're doing is correct or not. It has to be second nature. The higher the time frame, the more time you can think about the things you're doing, decide if something is worth taking the risk, and once you take the risk, you just kind of leave it on because, well, it takes time to deliver, right? When I take this, I literally have over 4 hours, almost 6 hours. Yeah, I have over 6 hours to decide if I'm buy stopping this, right? For someone trading a 15-second, they have less than 30 seconds to decide if they're buying this. That's the name of the game. That's how the game is played. If you cannot act quickly and then act quickly with confidence, you shouldn't be on the lowers, or you need more time of testing, right? It's very simple. Fingerbell says, when you have your C/V flush your 10 MA, but the 20 is still sloping, do you still consider this a flush and wait for MMB1 to follow, or are you trying to get positioned in the part circled? No, I would not try to be getting positioned here. I don't think I quite understood. If this is my C/V, well, it depends on what it is. If this is my C time frame, there's nothing to position on here. This is just distribution to reaccumulate. If this is my V time frame and this is a 20 EMA here, then maybe there's a trade inside of here. If this is like a 50, then yeah, I'm not positioning inside of there. I'm waiting for the MMB1. Timo says, in your V, you do not wait for a new MMB after the flush below the EMA, but trade directly after the accumulation being in the V when an entry forms in the E. Well, they're almost the same thing. When an entry forms on the E, the V is usually moving into an MMB, right? Ole says, he means if it doesn't come below the EMAs, is it a reset for you? It just depends on the action and depends on the relative pairs that you're comparing it to. If all of them reset, then you probably are looking at a reset even though it didn't reset. Other times it might just be a reset because of how it looks compared to prior action. So yes and no. That's very personal. Like, it's very personal. Or you can just have a simple rule, like it has to close below the 20 for a reset, and then you just think from there and don't add anything else. Devil says the portal is top tier, so easy to follow. Hey, that's awesome, man. Oh wait, MK, I didn't see this, I'm sorry. He said, Anton, I was in the course for 6 months about 2 years ago. Holy shit, yeah, things have changed a lot, I'm sure you've noticed that. And I didn't have time to keep going. I had to get my shit together, and I'm very happy that you did, because it seems like if you're back here, you've gotten a lot of your shit together, which is awesome. Now I set up my life on the way that I can keep learning and gaining knowledge, but I'm assuming your life is actually in a place where you're able to do that without it being the only thing that you can do, right? So that means that you probably have a much better mental and have much more mental energy now to put into this, which is amazing. I am back in the course and I love the new setup with the mastery course. Thank you, man. You are absolutely the best. It's easy to learn with you, the way you teach. Hey, you're amazing, G. Thank you for leaving that. But also, if you can, drop that in the testies. I read all the testimonials, even if I don't always react to them. So if you can copy and paste that into there, the hashtag testimonials or whatever, that would mean so much to me. Just because, yeah, I don't want stuff to get lost in the webinars. I almost didn't even see that message, right? So Karar says, for your MMB entries, are you also looking for price to be in an MMB as well on the V, or you just want price moving in some accumulation?
if you're having an MMB on the entry time frame, then that means that prices come out of the containment line of the V's MMB already. So what does that even mean? Can you give me like an image or something? I don't understand that personally. What does that mean? You're never gonna have an MMB entry. I don't even know, honestly. Hold on. Can you clarify it for me? Because I didn't understand that. I'm gonna need some clarification on that. Okay. I'll wait a second. But for now, if I missed anything, guys, you can copy paste it from before. Because I might have missed some stuff, you know, as we were talking and going through a bunch. So, oh, Maki sent a bunch of things that he bought. So, AXP, we looked at Coca-Cola, CVX. Oh yeah, I remember looking at this. This was so funny. Ready, Maki? Check this out, bro. Whoa. Warren Buffett bought this. I'm so surprised. What's a momentum cycle? And he bought in when? Probably in 2009 or in 2015 or in 2020, like around here, right? I'm guessing. When did he buy this thing? Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't say. Doesn't say. I'm going to reply to this. Boom. Try to find for me when he bought that. I'm going to keep an eye on that. But let's see. He bought, let's go from the Occidental, Oxy, yeah, same. I think I remember looking at all these. Look at this. Bad buy. Bad purchase. Why? Because it doesn't even follow momentum, right? So like, and look what's happening. He's now probably down in the position because he didn't even follow the own momentum rules that I could give him for him to start making money on this thing. So bad purchase. Let's see, KHC. Yeah, terrible purchase. Didn't follow momentum rules and is now down on the position. What a complete buffoonery action. MCO. Oh, look at that. He bought something in momentum, probably in 2022, in 2018, and in 2016, and now he's making money on it. Surprise, surprise. DVA. I think I remember looking at this too. Yep. No matter where he bought it, it's momentum cycle. He's making money. Wow. Surprise, surprise. Paramount. Let's see Paramount. Yep. Didn't follow his own rules. If he bought it in like 2022, he's losing money on it. Very bad purchase. Like you can already tell which purchases that Buffett made that are going to make money and which ones are going to go sideways or lose money. That's like, and you simply have to use basic momentum rules to do that, right? Oxy, look, he bought it in 2022. Didn't I say if he bought it in 2022, he's bad? Yeah, look, what a terrible play. He bought it here. That's a terrible purchase. Terrible purchase. MCO, he bought in 2000. Yep, like I said, good purchase, and he's making money, right? Look, he bought it here in 2000. Easy. Okay, KHC, bought in 2015. Let's take a look. Hey, what do you know? Bought it without the cycle that I'm talking about, and he's down over 80% on that position. Congratulations. Paramount, bought in 2022. What did I just say? If he bought it in 2022, terrible. Look, he bought it here. Bad investment. I could literally have saved him how much? 60% of the position that he put into this if he just used his own rules for what makes a good stock. Like that's like that. Literally, I could save Warren Buffett billions to trillions of dollars if this guy just realized that he's trading momentum when he has a good trade. The money that he's made the most money on, the stocks that he's made the most money on, have all been momentum cycles. Apple is one of his most notable holders. Look at this thing. No matter where he bought it, he would have made money because it followed the cycle. Yeah, it's so funny to see. Fortuners versus billionaires don't trade like us. I'm fully aware of that, but I'm saying I could prevent him from losing money on stuff that he never had to lose money on by just giving him a simple technical approach to what he's doing. Jimmy says, I know it's not a good business, but you might want to float him a free membership. Yeah. DPZ in 2024. DPZ. Domino's, and yeah, look at that. I wonder why. And if I had to tell him this is a good investment, why? Because he bought it on the rising 5, 10, and 20 and a delivering momentum cycle. He's going to probably make money on this over the next 10 to 20 years. It's like, it's that easy. Like right now, if I'm an investor with billions of dollars, I'll put in some money here, some money here, and some money here. And now I can hold the rest. If it falls down, I'll wait 40 years. If it goes up, then I'll sell a portion as it goes up. Done. I'm an investor now, right? Like, it doesn't have to be hard. And funny enough, it's what Warren does. He trades momentum. And the stuff that he didn't follow the momentum rules on, or at least my momentum rules, he lost money on those things. Surprise, surprise. Karar says something like this. On the V price, is accumulation through that stage 1 kind of, but is an MMB entry. So the question was like, do you care whether if price is in an MMB on the V, if you're taking an MMB entry on the E? I just still don't understand. I don't know. I still don't understand the question. So I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. You move into a bullish V, so you're asking if you can take an MMB entry? Of course you can take an MMB entry. Why not? Right? I think if that's what you were asking. But yeah. I got some in my eye, bro. All right, guys, I gotta go ice skating. Got a little ice skating date with the family. You know how it goes. Was I wrong for asking the question about the R in crypto? I don't know what that means. Alex says, I think he's asking, do you need an MMB formed on the V to enter double MB on the E? But that's not a double MB. This is never a double MB. This is like 1, 2, 3. This is like this is MB4, otherwise known as MMB 1, 2, 3. This is MMB 3, if anything, or maybe 2/3. And then this can be 3/4. This is 4, or this is 4. Extension breakdown. No, you don't need anything to have a reason to enter, right? Necessarily. This all comes down to rules. I am fully happy with buying something that like relatively has been really strong, looks really good, and is worth taking, right? Like by all means, I'll just do it. This is your question. If price comes out of an accumulation MB a bit, will you look for MMB entries on the E or wait for MMB1? Yeah, so that completely depends on the asset, what it looks like, the relativity to that asset. Like if AI is super hot and then an AI stock is just peeking its head over an accumulation MB, sure. And the setup is good, why not? I'll put on risk. Like you have a relatively strong market. Jimmy says, week in, week out, these webinars are awesome. Thank you, man. I appreciate you all. I'll see you in the Discord too. Have some ice cream and enjoy the time. Thank you, my man. Thank you. Oh, Dino back? What's up, Dino? Good to see you, man. Ice skating midsummer. It's like it's a kid's birthday party or whatever. So yeah. We're definitely bringing a helmet. Definitely. All right, guys. I hope I was able to cover a few things. I hope you guys were able to take a little bit out of the beginning in terms of psychology and approaching just anything in your life, skill set wise. And most importantly, you know, keep your eyes on some of these markets. Whether you're trading them or not, just keep this in mind. Whether you're trading these specific markets or not, you can still keep an eye on them. You can learn from their deliveries. You can learn from the deliveries that they've already had and the deliveries that many of these are likely to keep having, because a lot of these are likely to either keep delivering or go sideways and then deliver. So whether you're trading this or not, whether you have the ability to trade them or not, learn from their actions. You can learn a lot by just simply seeing how something delivers, okay? Keep an eye on some of the things I have on my list if you want, just learn from them. A lot of the stuff on my list is this, and I'm just waiting for longs, just like this setup in front of you. This is a setup I took with the exact same principles. We broke them down today, and I'm in this thing just moving to all-time highs potentially, right? NASDAQ, I'm still very bullish. I want to see a reset, but if it doesn't, it's fine. And if you're lower time frame, play the stage twos. Let the stage twos happen and just play them. Don't try to predict tops. There's no reason to do that. The top will happen at some point, but we're just here to play the thing in front of us. Your opportunities are going to be in moves like this, and moves like this, and moves like hopefully this. So play them, watch for them, and post them. Post your trades, post the things you take, post the cryptos you catch, post the FX pairs you catch, whatever it might be, post it. Let's learn from it. Let's grow together. Tag me. I'll always come back on stuff and keep working on the portal. All right, guys. Love you all quite a bit.
All right, what's up, guys? I'm just checking back in. This is the end of the video, of course. I'm sure you can see that. Thank you. If you watched this entire thing, thank you a lot. Whether you're part of the private or the publicly and just receiving this video publicly for the first time, or even finding my channel for the first time, thanks for watching the whole thing. I hope that you were able to take even a small nugget of information from it, whether it be psychological, whether it be technical, whether it be fundamental in terms of thought process and approach, right? Because hopefully some of the interesting dealings with Warren Buffett based stocks and really understanding what it is he trades and how he trades, understanding momentum, understanding cycles. It all can be very helpful. But nonetheless, thank you all for watching. And if you're in the private team, feel free to @ me, ask anything, post your own charts, post your own trades, and I'll see you all in the trade talks, all right? And also, if you're publicly watching this and it's just completely free and you're just accepting this, just check out that link below, put in your email, get the whole cheat sheet for yourself, and start looking for the same thing in the markets that you watch across your time frames. You will be able to teach yourself a lot just with that information. And hopefully stop following and watching a lot of the BS that's out there. Instead, focus more on what actually creates moves, right? So instead of trying to pick tops and pick bottoms and try to complexify everything you do, really kind of look back to this video as a simplistic analysis of how I personally go step by step through things, of how I assume a market position, of how I assume positions, right? After all, if you kind of follow what's in front of you, right? My entries are just buying into a high and doing it over and over and over again. It seems too simple, and it in a sense is, but go and test it and you'll be pleasantly surprised by what you're even capable of doing. Okay, that's enough. Thank you all so much. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.